EA Sports.
We play to win. Let's go. On the double. 44 in your face.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. From the gun, Love. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Operating from the gun, Love. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, it's Logan. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
91. 53. I'm coming after you.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Open man is Westbrook, complete. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They run with Breida, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Hey, lock it.
On 1st down, Logan. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, Minshew. It's complete to Chris Conley. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Logan. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Share.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
On 2nd down, it's Logan. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11. 8, read.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Ready.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. We're scoreless after 1.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
We go. 60 yards.
They'll run on 1st down. Logan. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Minshew. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 34-yard line.
On the ready.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, they scared. They scared.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Check 37. Check 37.
Check, check. Lucky. Lucky. Lucky.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Get it.
On 1st down, it's Logan. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
61. Match, watch, light. Hey, let go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Minshew sets to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll go play action here with Minshew. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Matt Breida, 95 yards, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they've ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. D.D. Westbrook is intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Back to throw. Love. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. On the carry, it's Logan. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where I came from.
Ready? 10 Lobo.
Check 53 is mine.
Get the ball.
Hey.
Leo.
24.
Hey, orbit. Shoot.
Out of the gun is Minshew. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
To throw on second down, Love. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Josh Allen in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
Let's go now.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Devontae Parker as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Mike Bobo. All day, just like that.
The final shot before break. Love. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Throwing on first down is Minshew. And it's knocked away and incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. Now Minshew. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They will run with Grant. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Here we go. Go to base. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
On first down, here's Breida. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Who that? Who that? He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
They run again with Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Looking to throw. Love. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen...
And a loose football, and the Patriots have it. And maybe that one caused by the weather, of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football grip, it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
Go.
53, Mike. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Here's Minshew. The open man is Westbrook. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Ready.
Just 54.
They'll run on first down. Thompson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 46-yard line.
Break.
53 is the mic. Here we go. Switch.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
Watch the flat.
Rock it.
Watch the flat.
Get it.
On 2nd and 12, Minshew. Flush to his right. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Yeah, baby.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4.
5.
He'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 25. And this return's going to go backwards about 8 yards, but the interception is good, and they have the football. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now, listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. And you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
This is Breida. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. He can run for it, and he will. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
Let's pick it up. Out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
Now this time he'll look to throw. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
What we got? 56. Mike, 56. Right there.
2nd and 14. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So third and long, here's Minshew. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now it's Breida. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check 24, check 24. Check. Shift.
They'll toss it to Breida. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Second and 6 at the 17-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Here we go. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Here's Breida. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
Down. 180.
56. Hey, pick your game up.
Hands up.
The Patriots in the victory formation as they'll take the knee. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
That's going to be a long day.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire 2nd half, but their 1st half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the 1st half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the 2nd half. Fortunately,